Well, hey
Hi.
again.
Hi there. Hi there.
Hiya, hi there, hi there,
Not
hi
sure who to
there.
look at first.
It's welcome to Opposite Saxes. Glad to have you with us as always. Man, we always seem to start to show off by saying it's time is flying, but man,
Well, it is.
it is.
It
And
is.
the upside is that the weather is starting to change a little bit. It's getting a little bit cooler now, and
Mhm.
you notice that when you go for a walk, the trees are changing colors. It is so pleasant to see that.
It
Is
is. And as I said on the few shows back, the days are getting shorter.
Yeah, but
So
what is fall is my favorite season. How about you?
I don't know. I like the spring
Yeah.
because it's not hot, it's not cold.
Well,
In
and
between. But I
but
do
that's the way
like
the fall
fall.
is
I
because
do
it's not
like
too hot,
fall.
it's not too cold. Maybe you just put on a little light jacket or
Yeah.
something.
And the trees are pretty.
But just to walk and see the leaves starting to fall off the
Yeah.
trees and changing colors, that's probably always been my favorite time, around late September, October, early November, until it starts to get a
I
little
think
too
we need
cool.
to take more walks during the fall
Okay.
through the forest
Yeah.
preserves and
Well,
the trails so we can
ex
notice more of the leaves.
exercise is important, and that's kind of goes along with what we were going to talk
Yeah.
about on today's show. And by the
Mhm.
way, we want to remind you that today's show is brought to you in part by our good friend Irving Chung. Irving Chung is with Fran Choice, and he is a franchise specialist. And folks, I don't know if you've ever given any thought to franchising, uh, but it can be a great investment, and it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. I flat out said to Irving once, how much does it take to get into a franchise? He says you can get into a part-time franchise for as little as 25 to fifty
Really?
thousand
No,
dollars,
that's not that
and a
much.
lot of that you can get the funds to help you invest too.
Hmm.
And also, it could be a part-time, like bookkeeping services. They're franchised, or pest control services and all. Or if you got a lot of money and you want to buy one of the food franchises, you can do that. But you can get a free consultation with Irving Chung if you just reach out to him at Fran Guidance, Fran Choice. Reach out to him. He's a really nice guy. He's
Yeah.
also a patriot, passionate
He
patriot.
is, but he's just not only is he nice and he a patriot, but he's very well versed
He's
on the
not pushy.
franchises.
He
No,
is
no.
not pushy at all. He just sincerely wants to share information
Yeah.
with you. So, if you want, reach out to him.
Okay.
We were talking about exercising, and you know, I hate to use the phrase,
But
but
you will.
yeah, but as we start heading toward the sunset years of our lives, it becomes even more important that we take care of ourselves. Case in point, I mean, your dear mom, who's going to be 102. I mean, I'm still, even though she's got osteoporosis and she's got lots of some medical issues and everything, she's still surprisingly strong
Mhm.
for her age.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah. And so, we all are at that time in our lives where it's becoming even more necessary, and you more than me. I'm still terrible about it. The stretching in the morning to get the bones and the muscles going. You do it religiously.
Not as religiously as I should,
Yeah.
but I do that.
And there are more and more programs for you don't have to be a senior citizen to do it. In fact, they are encouraging people in their middle ages to start with a regular exercise program or stretching program every day.
There was just a story I
To,
read about a young gentleman, he's like 35, and he has osteoporosis
Mhm.
very badly already. And yeah, I mean, you don't have to be older to be hit with anything anymore.
Right. But if you take care of yourself, like people that either just walk every day, God bless my sister Kathy. She has been a runner
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
40 to 45, maybe getting close to 50 years now. Still enters events, still does marathons and half marathons. And even though she runs at a little slower pace now, she's been consistent in doing it. And because of that, every time she goes for an annual checkup, The doctor is absolutely amazed that she's in the kind of shape that she's in for her age,
But that's why she is in that shape.
because she made it a
Mhm.
regular part of her
She
daily
watches what she
routine.
eats. Yeah. Yeah. I really admire her.
I watch
Yeah.
what I eat too. So
Yeah.
I'm watching the wrong things.
Right. At times, yes. And at other times you're really good.
I'm good until an hour or
But
two
that's like
later.
us. I mean, we're all,
Yeah,
everybody is that way. I mean, you can't be perfect
that's
all the
right.
time.
But you just recently started a program because your mom does have osteoarthritis or
Well, she has that
osteoporosis.
too. She has both.
My mother had
Right.
osteoarthritis. I have early onset osteoarthritis.
Mhm.
So you found a program that deals that targets really with exercise for us to really
Osteopenia and
you can't prevent
osteoporosis.
osteoporosis, but
Right.
you can.
You can, well, you shouldn't say we can't reverse it because there was a woman that stopped in. I joined a facility. I got the name to my doctor
You want to say
who
the name? It's called
Osteo
Osteo
Strong,
Strong, isn't it? Yeah.
and it's been in existence for quite a few years. I had no idea. It's been in our area for 3 or 4 years. And my doctor didn't feel I was ready to take a medication yet and suggested this as a way to stave off the
The
osteoporosis.
symptoms, right? You're working on the symptoms of
I don't have
osteoporosis,
any,
is it?
well, it's just through x-rays and through tests that
Yeah.
I'm heading in that direction. So she suggested I look at this place, and I went on the web, and it looked a little too good to be true. And I went over there, and they give you one free lesson that shows you what they do. They explain it. And their advertising is you do this once a week. It's 10 minutes and that's it. I couldn't imagine what could this be?
Right.
So as I say, I went over, I was really impressed. And while I was there on my third or fourth time, I ultimately joined. And my third or fourth time, there was a woman that came in, two women that came in 2 different times that did have osteoporosis. But after taking taking out a membership and going to Osteo Strong, for one went a year and a half, the other is 2 years now, they have reversed it.
Really?
And they are back to osteopenia, and not strong osteopenia. They're in the middle. So they've really reversed themselves. And so I guess it can be
Interesting.
done. Yes, it's not quick and you have to keep going, but it is very interesting. It's all done with machines and not the handheld weights that we're used to using.
I was going to say, you have gone through a variety of different programs through physical therapy, through athletic clubs, through chiropractors and all.
Right.
What makes this specific Osteo Strong program different from some of those other methods of relieving?
Well, first of all, there's only 4 machines.
Okay.
And
That's
each one targets
concentrated.
something else. But I am not putting a lot of pressure on my back, my shoulders when I am working these machines. With the hand weights, with the physical therapy and some of the exercises, I was still, my shoulders would bother me, or different parts of my body would bother me if I did it too much and too hard. Weights just didn't work for me. And so these machines, you're sitting down, you are seated in a position so that you are not.
So you're not doing the work.
I am doing the work, but you don't feel it. You feel it to a point, but you are pushing, you are pulling, you are lifting, and you're out of breath when you've completed this for this one piece of equipment. but it's like I lifted about 700 pounds. There
What?
is no way, there is no way that you can do that with weights.
With
But
free weights, right?
with these machines, what you're lifting, it's a totally different
It's like a
way of exercise.
simulator.
Yeah, a totally different way of exercising. And I don't feel anything in my back. I, as I say, I mean, you are out of breath when you're done, but you quickly come through it and then you go on to the next machine. And yeah, yeah, because the chart, there's a chart right above the machine, and it shows how much you have pressed or how much you have pulled, and it shows what you did last week and what you're doing this week. And I'm sure that it was pounds. Maybe it wasn't pounds now that I'm looking at you, but it goes up to 700.
How you
I did.
700
Now, maybe it wasn't pounds. Could it be
ounces?
hey, you know, if it's ounces, I would still take it. I don't care. But it
I-
shows that I am increasing.
Because you're petite, and I can't imagine you lifting or pressing.
I'm not that petite.
700.
I'm not that petite. But it shows.
If she's lifting 700 pounds, folks,
Maybe it's not pounds.
I'm in trouble.
I guess I shouldn't say that. I should go reread everything. They tell you so much that it's like it's all in your head. And
She says, just
whoa.
strap yourself into the machine and do it.
And you don't even strap. You sit down.
Oh,
it's like just sitting down in a car seat, and you do it. And so I can see when I'm finished what I did last week and what I did today and how much I improved. Now, the week before on a couple of machines, I fell backwards. I didn't do as well.
mhm.
But it gives you a good feeling. They target also your balance, and they do exercises with me in the beginning and at the end before I leave. And I have a trainer with me from the time I walk in until the time I walk
So
out.
they know what your limits are.
Right. And they know.
where to
And
push
if
it.
Lauren, you're not standing straight, you know, they'll tell me. But they also work on your balance, and you stand on a little platform that vibrates. And you are standing on one foot, one leg, kicking out a leg.
Ooh,
It's
I couldn't,
for the 10 or 15 minutes you're there, to me, it's very complete.
I couldn't do that. So I can't stand on one leg.
Well, you can hold on. There's
I
a
don't have
bar.
oh,
There's a
oh,
bar.
okay.
You can hold on to the bar.
So I have issues with balance.
Yeah, a lot of people do. You're not alone.
Yeah.
And I do too. And there are times where I can do it alone without the bar holding on, and there are times where I'm just not feeling it, and so I hold on.
Yeah.
But it's quite a program, and I remember coming home and telling you about it, and I knew the first question out of your mouth was, well, how much does it cost? And it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
But relative to what you're getting out of it, it's an investment.
Right. So
we made an investment in a treadmill because we don't have the room to have a gym, other than a lot of our people in the neighborhood who use their garages for gyms.
I just can't do that.
But to have multiple pieces of gym equipment, the alternative is to just go join a gym and go use multiple pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
The treadmill, I'm finding at our age now, is a little bit better because you can adjust the speed that you're walking. You can adjust the incline a little. You can give yourself a cardio workout if you want, or you could just walk while you're watching the news.
Right.
And every little bit helps. I think that's the key point that we kind of want to make out of all of this is it's just to do something to keep yourself moving, keep the joints moving.
Yes. And the thing is, now the question's going to be after I'm there a while, because it's only been 6 weeks, 2 months, is am I improving?
Yeah.
So
when do you
stop?
stop, or you just have to keep
You
on
keep going, but you hope that maybe your insurance will pay for another x-ray to see how you're doing, and insurance could come back and say, no, we're not going to pay right now because you just had this x-ray done last year or whatever, a few months ago. So, but I am anxious to see in another few months where I'm at. But when I bring up Osteo Strong, it says each device provides instant biofeedback, which it does, with a member's impact emulation force exertion measured in pounds and multiples of body weight. So maybe I am doing the pounds
Oh, okay. Relative to your
to my weight.
height and weight and
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. It's
But the bottom line is osteoporosis is the degrading of the bones. And
yeah, it is. And it'll tell you in an x-ray. The women get these bone density scans,
Mhm.
which shows you what part of your body is at risk for falling or breaking. And most women, it's the hip.
Right. Well, and men are not
And
excluded from this either.
no, no.
It's just that we recently had a friend who was simply doing something on a ladder, and coming down the ladder, he missed a step on the ladder, and it's
Yeah.
put him out of commission. It's already been what, 5-6 weeks, and also just a simple, and it was like 3 rungs up, but
But could have been worse.
it did a job on his knee.
Yeah.
And we as we get older, we sometimes think we can do more than what we can do.
Yeah.
And if you work out on a regular basis, your muscles probably can handle it. But if you don't,
Yeah.
that stooping or bending or reaching, whatever, can
So I'm
have
not
an adverse effect.
here as a paid spokesperson for Osteo Strong. We just thought we would talk about getting a little older and what we have to do for our bodies. And
It's
I'll
worth it
I'm-
just to look and see what
I just thought I
those
would pass
are.
the word along. If any of you
Yeah.
have these problems, read about it, Google it, see if it's in your area.
And the nice thing is that a lot of these programs offer 1 or 2 free visits. So you can go and you can try
Right.
it and say,
Right.
I like it, I don't
Right.
like it.
Right.
It's too expensive, it's worthwhile. I will go on a regular basis. You make up your own mind, but there are more and more of them out there now for you to experiment and try.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. It's worth it to do it.
So if you have any questions, hey, you guys email me or give me a shout out. And but it's called Osteo Strong, and see if it works for you. Hopefully it will if you need it. And if you don't, more power to you.
Yeah. We're going to go in the family room now, and I'm going to watch her lift 700 pounds. I gotta see this.
Not
folks.
happening.
Not happening.
No.
Okay. What is happening is us next
We're
week,
out.
1
But
o'clock
yes.
next Thursday.
We're out now. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.